Spongebob games. There's a lot of them. The first game that comes to mind is most likely Battle for Bikini Bottom. I don't blame you, it's a good game. It's the only SpongeBob game that was popular enough to get a remaster. There's also some bad SpongeBob games. Flying Dutchman was not that bad. I don't remember that much, but I remember having fun. Robotic Revenge is a bad game, extremely boring. And this one isn't that great either. But there's another game that in my opinion is a bit underrated. This is a sister to Battle for Bikini Bottom, made by the same developers. It plays the same, it's on the same consoles. This is SpongeBob SquarePants, the movie, the game. It's still talked about. I found a dedicated modding community for it. But it's always sidelined for Bikini Bottom. That's a shame. Yeah, the movie game came out later, using most of the same assets, but I think it stands on its own. Spongebob. It's a cartoon about a sponge, very popular. They made a movie, and then they made a game about the movie. It was released 23 days before the movie did. This is a common thing for movie tie-in games. I'm just surprised how faithful it is to the movie. It was developed by Heavy Iron, the same people who did Battle for Bikini Bottom, and then Truth or Square. Oh, wait, they worked on COD World War II? It came out on October 27th, 2004. For every 6th gen console, it got positive reviews, it was a good game. The PS2 version got a port to the PS3, and apparently it sucked, so then I got delisted. I had this on the PlayStation 2 and the GameCube. I never beat it. There was a save with 100% completion, but I don't know who in the family did that. Until recently, last year, back in March, I beat the game for the first time ever. I did this on the GameCube, on an RS cable, so it looked pretty bad. I got it for the original Xbox and have 100%ed it another 3 times as of writing this. So let's get into it.
Nosy yours.
The game follows the events of the movie. Plankton uses Plan Z, aka steal King Neptune's crown and blame it on Mr. Krabs. We have to go retrieve it before Neptune executes Krabs. Simple as. The game's levels are based on scenes from the movie. Goofy Goobers, The Trench, Planktopolis. But some of these levels are based on about maybe a minute of film time, so Heavy Iron had to make a few creative liberties. The Krabby Patty wagon got stolen. Let's turn that into 2 levels where SpongeBob and Patrick will fight through hordes of brainwashed hillbillies, all the while destroying brainwashing radio towers. Our heroes climb out of the trench and then meet Dennis. Let's add an entire junkyard in between that. Let's just add an entire dream sequence. Yeah, that would do it. These levels are pretty good. A good set of diversity, these maps play nice, they're set up good, and they gradually get more difficult. The platforming is simple, and later on you're going to get some rough spots. Harder enemies are introduced, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to get stuck. The game has 4 different types of levels. SpongeBob levels, Patrick levels, driving levels, and sliding levels. SpongeBob and Patrick, they play the same as they did in Battle for Bikini Bottom, except half of their abilities have been taken away and locked behind a paywall. Driving levels are relatively easy. Hold A to go forward, hold X to reverse, and if you pick up nitros, you can press right trigger for a boost. It feels nice, there's smooth controlling, when you drift perfectly it feels sensual. There's also secret paths allowing you to skip sections of the course. Sliding levels are similar to driving missions, except you're sliding. You can't stop, and you can slide uphill somehow. Amazing. Throughout your time playing, you're gonna hit a token gate. You cannot progress because you don't have enough Goofy Goober tokens. Like most 3D platformers of this era, it's also a collectathon. Breaking open crates or killing enemies rewards us with manly points. The collectibles from Battle for Bikini Bottom make a return. They're just reskinned shiny things, manly points, socks, treasure chests, golden spatulas? Nah, they're Goofy Gooper tokens. Manly points come from killing enemies or breaking crates. Once you get enough points, you will level up, and you can upgrade one of your skills for either Patrick or SpongeBob. Points vary in their quantity. You have 1, 2, 5, 10, and 50 points. Once you collect a certain amount of points on a level, you will only be able to collect points that are worth 1. This stops you from farming a large amount of points and forces you to move on to a different level. To collect tokens, you have to complete tasks. You get one for beating a level, and then you can replay them and complete additional challenges. All the abilities you unlock are from Battle for Bikini Bottom: Bash, Sponge Bowl, Ground Pound, Throwing. Simple as, just grind them levels and move on. These abilities that you can unlock can also be upgraded. Upgrading your normal attacks makes them do more damage, but more importantly, allows you to reflect projectiles back at enemies. Very useful later on in the game. Health upgrades give you more health, upgrading the cartwheel gives you a shield, and when the bash is upgraded, the glove sticks into your opponent and can be detonated in an explosion. Very nice. There's more upgrades to these, but I'll let you guys find that out. After completing any drive inside level, you can replay them for 3 challenges: a time challenge, a ring challenge, and a macho time challenge. Time challenges are easy, you have plenty of time, and as long as you take the secret paths, you'll beat it. Ring challenges are a bit more difficult, depending on the level. Follow the rings, miss one, full level restart. Night Drive is a bitch to play because of these oil slicks, which make turning extremely slippery, and you're gonna miss the rings. Macho time challenges are just time challenges with less time. These fuckers suck so much. You have to become a speedrunner to do these. You're gonna have to master every turn and use every nitro. You have to do everything perfectly. Rock Slide is too long of a level for its time. I had to look up how to do it. This little kid filmed his box TV. This is why I used to get through the level.
Sorry, we're like on our last set of batteries.
I mean, come on, look at this. You have to jump on this enemy taking damage, and then normally every part of the map, if you fall off, but you have to restart. No, you have to find out where you could fall off the map. This one is absolutely ridiculous to complete. You'll eventually find these sparkling pads. These will teleport you to a challenge room. Arenas are simple, fight through 3 waves and it's over. You'll fight enemies that appear later on in the game. They progressively get harder as you go. But as you reach the final arena, you already fought every enemy. What creature lies in wait for us? Perhaps a secret boss? Or maybe all the enemies in a super hard fight? Oh lord, no. This game's brutal, man. The other 2 challenge rooms are just platformers. Each enemy fills a different role. Later on they do get more difficult, but that doesn't mean they do more damage. All enemies can only deal 1 point of damage to you. But what does increase is their health, and some enemies get new moves. None of the enemies feel out of place. None of them overlap on the roles. And their introductions are great. Every time you meet a new type of enemy, a cutscene plays showing you how to defeat them. You can't punch floaters, you have to bash their ass. Get too close to a Merv, and you'll get fried. Jellyfish. Well, jellyfish are just too dangerous. Avoid them altogether. The game features 4 boss fights that you have to win. 2 of them are against the same guy though, so I guess technically 3. Old lady monster thing, very easy to defeat. Dennis, much harder. Start by throwing the watermelon at him, and when there are 2 dogs in the arena, start deflecting his toilets. Dennis again, much easier. Just deflect his knives back at him. And blank. Before I kill the final boss, I want to 100% the game first. The final tokens I need to get are from the guitar challenges. And oh boy, this was difficult for me. Because of the RF cable I had. That gave me no depth perception. And boy, do you need it. In this challenge, you control the sonic wave. And you have to guide it through a set of rings. The final challenge is a bitch. It is overly long. And the worst part, the rings are in the worst spots ever. You can follow some of them and then lose track because the next ring is placed slightly out of your field of view. And look at that. Yeah, look at that. Another thing, you see the target, so I hit it. Nope, you have to go past the target and then loop back around. It's so gay. I was so furious when I found that out, man. I was on a call with my friends and they were just telling me to quit it. But no, I'm a pro. I will subject myself to pain and torture until I do it. Treasure chests are like socks from the previous game. A hidden collectible that you can pick up which doesn't factor that much into gameplay. Some of these are right out in the open, but most are hidden through sneaky little areas. Break open the store, destroy all crates in one go, drive through the secret path, reverse into a driveway. Who figured this out? Or throw objects at 3 toasters scattered around a junkyard only for the chest to spawn in. Like, bro, what is that? What do they do? Well, extras. You see scenes from the movie, concept art, which I always love concept art. Look at that. And what? Patrick and Splendor, no! That's a gimp suit, and that's like, no! Let's leave that behind closed doors.
Beware of the girth!
Alright, we have everything except for one Goofy Goober token, locked behind the final boss. Let's take it. King Neptune is brainwashed, and he's gonna kill us. So let's not have that happen. He attacks twice before he shoots his laser ray. If you get hit during his first 2 shots, the cycle will restart. What you have to do is hit all the tables until they turn around, dodge his attacks until he starts shooting his lasers, and then hide behind the frozen Mr. Krabs. He will be stunned, then start attacking him. Bruh. Phase 2 is the hardest to dodge, but get past it, repeat the steps, and he goes down. Game over. How was it? Well, it was fun. It had to be. I 100% in just 12 hours, and I was asleep during half of it. Graphically, I think it still holds up. Yeah, I might be biased because most of my lifetime playing this, it looks like this until I got an HDMI converter. Throughout the game, you'll spot a lot of asset flipping from Battle for Bikini Bottom. Hell, the first level features the hub road from the game. Sand mountains in the distance, Goo Lagoon, downtown, it's all here. The same teleport boxes, the same movesets. There's even a poster for Battle for Bikini Bottom here. Most of the same enemies, some of them have changed a bit, and I can't forget about the cutscenes. The end level cutscenes aren't really that good. They most likely couldn't get the footage from the movie, but they could have recreated in-game assets. They do this for the boss fights, but instead, every other level, we get a slideshow. The soundtrack is great. Jellyfish Fields is iconic, but none of the tracks from the movie game are as grand as it, but it does have some classics of its own. Now That We're Men really just hammers in the fact that we're somewhere strange. Shell City Dead Ahead is my favorite. The steel drums. And stereotypical bar music with a slice of disco. Overall, it's great. I found cheat codes. Secret costume? I have to try that out. Super high jump? Yeah, I got to. Okay, I've tried a dozen times. I guess these codes are wrong, or oh! That was actually going to be my last attempt. Looking snazzy. So, that's it for the movie game. Battle for Bikini Bottom, I think it's a better game. Slightly. This game's still amazing. I just like what Heavy Iron did when they can make their own story. I recommend this game without hesitation. Purple Knight made a remaster for Battle for Bikini Bottom. They should do one for this game. That's all. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. I would appreciate it. Take care and have a good one.